We are seeing a surge of homegrown terror arrests here inside the U.S. A grand jury in New York City indicting two men on charges of trying to help ISIS. Authorities say Munthar Omar Saleh tried to build a pressure cooker bomb and that Fareed Mamouni stabbed an FBI agent during his arrest. Also, this strange one, a couple under arrest in Mississippi. Federal agents say they planned to go to Syria to join the Islamic State on a trip disguised as a honeymoon. Just the latest in more than 70 people arrested on ISIS-related charges since 2013. Let's bring in Ryan Mauro, a national security analyst for the Clarion project. I want to start with that couple arrested down in Mississippi. Jaylyn Delshawn Young, 19 years old. She was described as smart, sweet, and yet she's going to hop on a plane with her new husband, 22-year-old Mohammed Oda Dakala, and join ISIS?
Well, the radicalization process can happen very, very quickly. You see sudden behavioral changes that by the time people say, look, we have a problem here, it's already too late. And this is also part of the parallel universe online that ISIS creates, where here in the United States we hear about people being raped and bombs going off, whereas the ISIS supporters hear that half of that is lies, but here's the other side of the story. And online what you see are pictures of kids smiling, having ice cream, the ISIS terrorists holding kittens. So it creates just a totally different universe for those supporters of ISIS to live in.
So they portray themselves as this jihadi Garden of Eden, if you will.
That's a great way of putting it. And they would say, look, we are an actual functioning state. It's not that we just declared a caliphate. The caliphate exists, and it's great to live in. And their magazine basically advertises saying, here's all the reasons that you need to come live here. It's better than your life in the United States.
Is social media the driving force behind all of this? I mean, if there were no Twitter and other social media sites, would they be able to recruit people in the way they have been?
They would. The social media makes it exponentially easier for them to do it because they can spread their propaganda. They can talk to people online a lot. And one of the things that we see is that there aren't really lone wolves. They are almost always in contact with someone that's a supporter of ISIS. And so because of the internet, they're able to build those personal connections that wouldn't otherwise exist.
It's just hard for me to believe that somebody could want to give up living in America, I happen to think it's the greatest country on the face of the earth, and going over to a hellhole like Syria is to take up arms with a bunch of jihadis.
It's very hard for us to understand, but a lot of it has to do with personal connections. They approach the person that they're trying to radicalize, and they're actually nice to them, and that's one of the things that puzzles people. They say, well, these individuals, they were so nice. But in their mind, being nice and being polite is perfectly compatible with advocating violent jihad.
So if you're asked the question, are we winning the war against ISIS, how do you answer that?
At the best, it's a stalemate. And that's because the territory that they control is expanding. If you look at the kill rate, the number of them that we're killing each month, at best it matches the number of foreign fighters that are going over there to join the caliphate. If you look at the numbers, terrorism expert Patrick Poole did a tally. And what he found out was that during the first 6 months of this year, the number of Islamic terror cases is double that of the previous 2 years combined. So a massive spike.
There has been such concern over the notion of lone wolf terrorists in this country. But you have a dispute with that characterization.
Right, because when you say lone wolf, it causes a lot of people to say, well, there's nothing that we can do about it. You can't do anything about the guy that's living in his parents' basement and just goes crazy. But usually, they are contacting someone. There's a process that happens where they're socializing with someone who's radical, that teaches them the ideology. Very often, they're a new convert. And then the version of Islam that they're taught is the ISIS brand. And so they're usually talking to a lot of people. So are they really alone? I would say not really.
So they're catchable, in other words.
Yes, definitely.
Ryan Mauro, we'll end on that optimistic note. Ryan, thank you.